We got some really exciting stuff to talk about in regards to NVIDIA, AMD, the Sony PS6, new game releases, and even some game-changing emulation updates. But before we dive into all of this, there's one major scam that you all need to know about that's making its round online. Fake AMD 9800X 3D CPUs are circulating around the internet, and some buyers are even receiving literal bricks instead of GPUs from some of the most popular retailers on the internet: Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, etc. So if you're going to buy something and it seems quote unquote too good to be true, then definitely avoid purchasing that so that you don't end up losing a ton of money in the process of buying something new. With all of that said, let's get into what's going on and talk about it. First up is the Radeon RX 9070 XT making waves, outperforming the NVIDIA RTX 5080 in Cyberpunk 2077 and 3D Mark test, which was accomplished by undervolting the actual GPU. Think of this as unlocking a hidden cheat code for your gaming setup. You got lower power draw, less heat, and even better performance, and who doesn't want longer, smoother play sessions? So if you did end up getting your hands on a 9070 XT and you would like to get some performance gains inside of your games, definitely look into undervolting the GPU. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the Sony PS6 development milestone, which was teased by AMD. And really this came down to a partnership with Sony for the upcoming PS6, which I'm going to take a wild guess at you, me, and everybody else on this planet that is even remotely aware of the PS6 and PlayStation in general kind of knew that it would be getting an AMD CPU and an AMD GPU. We're not going to get a 1-to-1 ratio on what we can expect with the PS6, but the PS5 Pro is going to be getting these features early so that we can get an idea on what the PS6 is going to have to offer for us. The next thing we're going to be talking about here is the RTX 5060 specs being leaked on the video card's website. And this is the note that I made about said article. NVIDIA's upcoming RTX 5060 is shaping up to be a mid-range powerhouse with 3,840 CUDA cores, 8 gigabytes of GDDR7 memory, and a power-efficient 150-watt TDP. It promises solid performance without draining your wallet or your electricity bill, unlike the top-of-the-line cards from NVIDIA. So budget gamers, this is definitely going to be an option to keep your eye out on if you're incapable of getting a 9070 or a 9070 XT, because I really want AMD to take a lead in the GPU market here. And I would honestly recommend those graphics cards over the RTX 5060 or the RTX 5050 so that we don't land in this situation that we got going on with NVIDIA right now, where we're all basically being bent over by the company. Next up, we're going to be talking about BioShock meeting The Last of Us with a new game for horror fans. And this isn't necessarily a spooky game. It looks really cool, so hear me out on this one. This is going to be for you if you like BioShock and The Last of Us. Just saying those two games should give you somewhat of an idea of what I'm talking about here when I say horror genre. Doesn't necessarily mean you're walking around with a teddy bear that pops up and seemingly seems to be something that people actually enjoy for a video game. I know you're fully aware of the one I'm talking about, Freddy's Five Nights or whatever it's called. No idea why people like that, but if you do like that video game, I apologize for dumping on your game that you like so much. So this is going to be a brand new survival horror game that's blending an atmospheric world building of BioShock with the intense heart-pounding gameplay of The Last of Us. Expect adaptive enemies, eerie environments, and some serious nightmare fuel. If you do like horror style video games, then this is going to be a must play, my friends. So next up is going to be the 9950X 3D. I did end up scripting this right here before I watched Gamers Nexus's benchmark, but in simple terms, this is going to be 14.2% faster than its predecessor. And now I'm just going to speak my mind because, quite frankly, I literally watched Gamers Nexus's video like 20 minutes ago, and it's still pretty fresh inside my mind. It is the top of the line CPU across the entire board. Faster than the Ultra Series CPUs, faster than any of Intel's other CPUs, faster than the 79 or 7800X 3D, faster than 9800X 3D, and I'm talking about across the entire board. However, with that said, I'm a little bit confused with this one because there's also some other creators that have made videos on this, specifically creator style channels. I'm really hating myself that I cannot think of this guy's name. Channel name that I was thinking of is called Tech Notice, quote unquote. Basically, he does nothing but the creative benchmarks. He benchmarks Adobe programs. He benchmarks his DaVinci. He does like all kinds of stuff for photo editing. For productivity, it does seem like the Ultra 9 285K with specific RAM and specific motherboards and specific pairing of everything, which I just got this fella right here. It's the fastest NVMe on the market, which I absolutely hate myself for attempting to clone my other NVMe. Literally like screwed up the cloning process and migrating Windows over to it. So unfortunately had to buy a new copy of Windows. Unfortunately had to reset my entire computer. Unfortunately had to reinstall every single program into it. So for anybody else that even considers using the application Disk Genius, do yourself a massive favor and don't use it. Next up is the future of Xbox 360 emulation. Retro gamers, I really gotta get my retro channel going. It's so hard to like do all that. Run the PC business, run the PC channel, run the gaming channel. Yeah. So, retro gamers, this is going to be a game changer because it is looking like we're going to be getting an Xbox 360 emulator specifically, directly, intentionally put right on the Xbox console, which I think is awesome. And for those of you that are unaware, this is going to be a totally separate video. I didn't script anything here in regards to this, but Xbox is actually going to be releasing a handheld console for their next generation console, quote unquote, alongside the actual console of the next gen console. So we're basically getting two next generation consoles because the handheld is literally, it's like they're literally labeling it a console, even though it's a handheld console. And that is where this is going to be awesome. Being able to have a handheld capable of playing Xbox 360 games through an emulator. And we're talking enhancements emulator. We're not talking about what Sony pulled here with their backwards compatibility where you can buy a PS2 game and you get really crispy pixelated PS2 graphics. Next up is AMD's new driver boost for handheld gamings, specifically put this directly after the Xbox emulator just because of the handheld version of the next generation console that is going to be releasing with the next generation console, if that makes any sense to you. So AMD just barely released a new driver that significantly enhances frame generation on handheld PCs like the Asus ROG Ally. And if you're into the portable gaming scene, then you can expect a lot. Man, I got Joe Biden mouth right there. You can expect smoother performance, better FPS, and a more immersive experience on the go. Next up is Split Fiction. Listen, man, this has to be one of the best games that has released in such a long period of time. This hit 1 million sales in 2 days. And it has Friends Pass. So if you buy the game and want to play the game with a friend, then you are actually able to do that, which is super cool. And I absolutely love the fact that we're actually capable of using that feature. However, it's a super, super fun game. So definitely check this out if you have not done so. It's selling really well for a reason. The AMD Radeon RX 9050 was spotted in retail listings. Absolutely nothing in regards to specs from what I'm aware of. However, a leaked listing from a quote-unquote Mexican retailer suggests that the AMD Radeon RX 9050 might be launching very soon. And if this is true, it could mean a new level of affordability and performance to the GPU market. And I genuinely hope that this is accurate. Again, for the same exact reason that I said about the RTX 5060. I genuinely want AMD to kind of take over the lower end market of NVIDIA. Let me know if you liked the new style of video because guess what? I did not have fun making this video. I despise scripting content. Unless this video for some reason blows up and does like 5 times better than my normal stuff, we're going to go back to the normal talking about stuff, sharing stuff, and going with the flow. Just to put this into reference to you, guess how long? 26 minutes. So if you see a 8-minute video, that means I have like 20 minutes worth of screw ups. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.